This video is about the alpha chose so but his pack wanted him overthrown. If this story captivates you, please like the video, share it with loved ones, and write in the comments how it touched your heart. ****The alpha chose hope but his pack wanted him overthrown. ****. In the heart of the moonshade forest, where shadows danced beneath the silver light of a full moon, the air crackled with tension. The night was alive with the growls and howls of the Orlai pack, a symphony of primal instincts and raw emotion. At the center of it all stood Alpha Rowan, his obsidian eyes glowing with an intensity that sent shivers down the spines of his pack members. He was a formidable leader, but tonight, beneath the ethereal glow of the moon, he was a man torn between duty and desire. As the pack gathered in a clearing, Rowan's heart raced, not just from the weight of leadership but from the woman standing just outside the circle of warriors. Alara, an outsider with a spirit as wild as the wolves themselves, had come to visit. Her presence was intoxicating, a magnet that pulled at Rowan's wolf, igniting a fire in him he had never known. She was everything his pack had warned him against, fragile, vulnerable, yet undeniably strong. Alara, he called, his voice deep and resonant, breaking through the murmurs of his pack. Come closer. The moment she stepped forward, the air shifted, charged with something electric. Alara's golden hair shimmered under the moonlight, her eyes a brilliant green, filled with fear and longing. Rowan, I shouldn't be here. Your pack. They don't matter, he replied fiercely, closing the distance between them. What matters is you. I chose you. The words hung in the air, heavy with implications. For a moment time stood still as Alara's breath caught in her throat. But as the weight of his declaration settled, uncertainty clouded her gaze. But I am not one of them. They'll never accept me and your position. They will accept you, Rowan insisted, his voice softening. You are my mate, Alara. That bond transcends everything. Yet, as he spoke those words, a growl rippled through the crowd, breaking the spell. It was Theo, Rowan's beta, his voice laced with resentment. You dare put an outsider above our own? This is madness, Rowan. Rowan's jaw clenched. Alara is not just an outsider. She is my mate, and I will not have her disrespected. The pack trembled in an uneasy silence, exchanging glances filled with doubt. They were proud, fierce creatures who thrived on loyalty and bloodlines. An outsider among them, especially one chosen by their alpha, was a perilous gamble. I am not here to cause trouble, Alara said, her voice quivering. I don't want to disrupt your pack. I care about Rowan, but I can take him from you. Before Rowan could respond, a voice pierced the air, cold and calculated. This is not just about love, it's about power. If an outsider can claim the alpha, what is to stop the rest of us from falling prey to weakness? It was Mara, a fierce warrior, eyes sharp as daggers. Rowan stepped forward, fist clenched. Alara is no weakness. She is my strength. You will learn to respect her, just as you respect me. But Mara's lips curled into a sardonic smile. We'll see how long that lasts. The pack will not stand for a weakness at the helm. Either she leaves, or we will make you choose. A low growl echoed from the assembled wolves, murmurs of dissent rising like a storm. Rowan's heart raced, his instincts flaring. Alara's eyes widened, fear mingling with anger. Rowan, you can let them do this. Your position. I want to abandon you, he said fiercely, taking her hands in his. I refuse to be swayed by their jealousy. You, Alara, are my destiny. But as the moonlight bathed them in a silvery glow, doubt crept into Alara's heart. What if they rewrite? What if this bond isn't strong enough to face your pack? I can be the reason you lose everything. Rowan stepped closer, his forehead touching hers. You are not the reason. They scared Alara. They fear change, but I will fight for you, for us. I don't want you to fight, she whispered, her voice breaking. I want you to lead. The tension in the air was palpable. The pack's murmurs grew louder, and in that moment, Rowan felt the weight of his future slipping through his fingers. He could feel the wolf within him roaring, demanding to protect what was his. That he was alpha, and he knew he had to tread carefully. I will give them what they want, Rowan said finally, pulling back to meet her gaze. The challenge. What? Alara gasped, eyes wide. Rowan, no, you can I must, he interrupted, his heart heavy but resolute. I will challenge Theo for my position. If I win, Alara stays. If I lose, I will step down. Panic flooded Alara's features. You don't have to do this. We can leave, go somewhere far away. No, he thundered, the wolf within him surging at the thought of abandoning their claim. I refuse to run from my pack, from my destiny. They will see that love can conquer all. As Rowan turned to face his pack, a roar of defiance echoed through the forest, shaking the leaves from the trees. Tomorrow at dawn, I challenge Theo. I will fight for my mate, and I will not back down. The pack erupted into chaos, voices rising in a cacophony of anger and fear. Alara felt herself being pulled into the storm, her heart aching for the man she loved and the danger that loomed over them both. She reached for him, desperate to connect. "Rowan, please," she began, but he silenced her with a deep, penetrating gaze. "Alara, trust me, I will not let you go." As the moon dipped low in the sky, casting shadows across the clearing, Alara's heart raced. She knew love was powerful, but she couldn't shake the feeling that destiny had woven a web of danger around them. Rowan was strong, but would it be enough to confront the darkness lurking within his own pack? With a heavy heart, she whispered, "I trust you, Rowan, but I fear what tomorrow will bring." He cupped her face in his hands, his thumbs brushing against her cheeks, igniting a warmth that spread through her. "Whatever happens, we will face it together. You are my mate, and I will always fight for you." As the moon watched over them, Alara felt the undeniable bond between them, but uncertainty lingered in the shadows, waiting for dawn. Tomorrow would change everything. But tonight they had each other. And that, for now, was enough. The first rays of dawn painted the sky in hues of gold and crimson as Alara stood at the edge of the clearing, her heart pounding like the distant thunder that heralded a storm. The air felt thick with anticipation, the weight of the world pressing down on her shoulders. Today, Rowan would challenge Theo, the beta whose loyalty to the pack bordered on fanaticism. Alara's hands trembled as she grasped the amulet Rowan had given her the night before. A silver crescent moon encased in intricate vines rested against her chest, a reminder of the bond they shared. She closed her eyes, seeking solace in the comfort of its presence. "Stay strong, Alara." The voice of Lyra, a gentle omega from the pack, broke through her thoughts. Lyra approached with quiet resolve, her eyes filled with empathy. "Rowan believes in you. He believes in this love. I want to believe in it too, but..." Alara's voice faltered, fear clawing at her insides. "What if he loses? What if our love isn't enough?" Lyra stepped closer, her voice soft yet firm. "Love is a powerful force that has the strength to change hearts, but it must be fought for. Believe in Rowan. He is doing this for you, for both of you." As the sun crested over the horizon, casting a golden spotlight on the arena, Lara felt a surge of determination. She would not let fear dictate her heart. Rowan was her mate, her destined partner, as she would stand by him, no matter the outcome. The clearing filled with the pack, their expressions a mix of anticipation and dread. The memories grew louder, like the rustling of leaves in a storm. Rowan stood at the center, his posture radiating confidence, but Alara could see the flicker of uncertainty in his eyes as he looked at her. "Remember," he said, his voice steady as he approached her. "No matter what happens, do not doubt our bond. You are my strength." "I believe in you, Rowan," she replied, her gaze unwavering. "Fight for us." With a nod, he turned to face Theo, who stood opposite him, a smirk playing on his lips. "You are making a grave mistake, Rowan. You are willing to risk everything for a fleeting whim?" Rowan's fist tightened at his sides, his jaw set. "This is not a whim, Theo. Alara is my mate, and I will not allow you or anyone else to dictate who I love. You think love will protect you from the consequences of your actions. Weakness has no place in our pack." Theo stepped forward, his wolf unleashed, the air around him heavy with dark energy. "Then let us settle this here," Rowan replied, his voice low and determined. "I will not back down." The pack erupted into noise, half cheering for their alpha, half whispering doubts about the outsider. Alara felt the tension coil in the air, a palpable force that threatened to suffocate her. But then she felt Rowan's presence beside her, a steady warmth that anchored her. "Remember, Alara," he murmured, leaning closer. "Whatever they think, we are stronger together. We will show them." With a swift motion, the challenge commenced. Rowan and Theo circled each other, muscles taut, instinct screaming. Alara could feel her heart racing alongside the rhythm of the fight, her breath hitching as they lunged at one another. Rowan was powerful, fierce, but Theo was calculated, using Rowan's emotional ties against him. Each clash of their bodies echoed through the clearing, a thunderous reminder of the stakes at hand. Glimpses of Rowan's fierce determination lit up his eyes even amidst the battle. He fought not just for his position, but for their love. As the fight raged on, Alara felt a deep connection to the ground beneath her feet, a pulse that resonated with her very being. "I am here," she whispered into the wind, feeling the energy of the forest swell around her. "We are one." Just as Rowan gained the upper hand, Theo struck with a cunning move, catching him off guard and knocking him onto the ground. The pack gasped, a collective intake of breath that echoed Alara's own panic. She felt the heat of the sun on her skin, yet all she could focus on was the shadow of doubt creeping into her heart. Oh! She called upon the power of the forest, the magic that flowed through her veins as an outsider. "Rowan," she shouted, her voice breaking the barrier of silence that had enveloped them. "Fight for us." At the sound of her voice, Rowan's eyes flared with renewed determination. He rose, shaking off the dirt and blood as he met her gaze. "Alara," he breathed, the acknowledgement of their bond igniting a fire within him. With a fierce howl, he surged forward again, the wolf within him unleashed like a tempest. Every strike he delivered was fueled by passion, a testament to their connection that transcended the limitations of their world. But just as victory seemed within reach, Theo took a desperate move, lunging towards Alara instead, his eyes wild with desperation. "You'll regret this, Rowan. You've put her in danger." "Enough!" Rowan roared, intercepting Theo just before he could reach her. The clash of their bodies sent shockwaves through the clearing, the pack watching in awe as the battle unfolded. Alara's heart raced, not just from fear but from the undeniable strength of their bond, coursing through her like a river of light. In that moment, something shifted within her. The amulet around her neck pulsed, and she felt the energy of the forest intertwining with her heart, whispering secrets of strength and unity. "We are one," she echoed again, more forcefully this time, her voice rising above the chaos. With a rush of instinct, Alara stepped forward, her presence acting like a shield. "Rowan, remember why you fight," she called out, her voice full of unwavering conviction. "Fight for love, not just power." The world around them seemed to hold its breath as Rowan met her gaze, the realization dawning upon him. The strength of their bond was more than physical prowess, it was the belief in each other that would guide him to victory. Rowan turned back to Theo, his eyes blazing with newfound clarity. "You see, Theo, it's not about weakness, it's about love, the kind of love that builds a pack, not tears it apart." With that, Rowan lunged, his movements a fluid dance of power and grace. The final clash was fierce and intense, and as the dust settled, the pack held its breath in tense anticipation. And then it happened. In a swift motion, Rowan pinned Theo to the ground, the weight of their history crashing down around them. "Yield," he commanded, his voice low but firm, as the forest seemed to hum in agreement. "Never." Theo spat, fighting against Rowan's strength, but the Alpha's resolve was unyielding. The pack's gasps echoed in the air, but Alara felt the tide of change washing over them. "Yield, or you will destroy everything we've rebuilt." Rowan growled, his voice booming through the clearing. Theo's eyes narrowed, the fight slowly draining from him as he felt the collective energy of the pack shift. Defeat began to cloud his features, and in that moment, the realization of love and unity pierced through the chaos. The forest echoed their bond, a mystical force binding them together. With a reluctant nod, Theo finally relented. "I yield," he growled, the words bitter on his tongue. The clearing erupted into a chorus of howls, a celebration of Rowan's victory. Alara rushed forward, enveloping him in her arms, feeling the warmth of his body and the thundering heartbeat that mirrored her own. "You did it," she cried, tears of relief streaming down her face. "You fought for us." Rowan held her tightly, their bodies melding together as he buried his face in her hair, inhaling her scent. "I will always fight for you," he whispered, his voice hoarse with emotion. But as the pack rejoiced, a shadow loomed over them, darker than before. Mara stepped forward, eyes glinting with malice. "The challenge is over, but this isn't finished, Rowan. You may have won today, but the pack's loyalty is not so easily won." Alara felt the chill of her words seep into her bones. "What do you mean?" she asked, her voice trembling. Mara smirked, a dangerous glint in her eyes. "You've proven your strength, Alpha, but trust is earned, not demanded. The pack will not forget this, nor will they forgive." Rowan's grip on Alara tightened, his eyes narrowing at Mara. "I will earn the trust. They will come to see Alara as I do. Or they will turn against you," Mara warned, her smile a thin veneer over simmering resentment. "And I will be waiting for that moment to strike." As she melted back into the crowd, a heaviness descended upon the celebration. Alara looked up at Rowan, the weight of their victory overshadowed by the uncertainty that lay ahead. "Together," Rowan said, his voice steady despite the storm brewing around them. "We will face whatever comes our way. I won't let anyone take you from." As the echoes of victory faded, Alara felt the thrill of triumph mingling with an unsettling dread. The weight of Mara's warning lingered like a storm cloud above them. She clung to Rowan, her soulmate, yet the uncertainty about the pack's loyalty gnawed at her insides. "Rowan," she whispered, her voice barely audible over the celebrations. "What if they truly turn against you? What if they never accept me?" His gaze bore into hers, fierce and unwavering. That won't happen, Alara. I will not allow it. We've faced the worst together, and we can face this too. But the lingering doubt in her heart twisted painfully, threatening to strangle the joy they had just claimed. You don't understand, Mara is right. Trust isn't given freely. It must be earned, and I am afraid you. Her voice faltered, tears forming in her eyes. What if I am not worthy of this pack? Rowan's thumb brushed away a stray tear, his touch igniting a warmth that momentarily banished her fears. You are more than worthy. You are my mate, and that makes you brave beyond measure. You've ignited strength within me that I never knew I possessed. Alar searched his eyes, seeking solace. But they saw you risk everything for me. What if they see that as a weakness? I don't want to be the reason you lose your place as Alpha. It is not weakness to love, Alara. It is the strongest bond we can forge. I will prove this to them, for you and for us. Rowan's resolve sparked a flicker of hope inside her, but it was quickly overshadowed by the lingering doubts. In the days following the challenge, the atmosphere in the pack shifted like the changing tides. While many celebrated Rowan's victory, others whispered behind closed jaws, their loyalty straining as they grappled with the change imposed upon them. The tension in the air was palpable, a constant reminder that peace was fragile. Alara threw herself into the pack's daily routines, determined to find a place among them. She attended training sessions, her heart pounding as she learned to harness the strength of her newfound bond with Rowan. Each time she sparred with the other wolves, she felt the scrutiny weights of judgment heavy upon her shoulders. Keep your guard up, the voice sparked, pulling her from her thoughts. It was Lyra, her eyes sharp and determined. You can do this. Just remember, they can sense your uncertainty. Show them you belong. I am trying, Lyra. I really am, Alara replied, frustration creeping into her voice. But it feels like I am fighting not just against them, but against their very nature. Then fight harder. Show them you have the spirit of a wolf running through your veins. You are more than an outsider. You are a part of this pack now, Lyra encouraged, her voice steady. As the days turned into weeks, Alara's determination began to pay off. She found a rhythm and even started to earn the respect of some warriors. But the shadow of Mara loomed heavily, her relentless whispers echoing in the darkest corners of the pack's gatherings. One evening, as the sun dipped low, casting long shadows across the clearing, Rowan called for a meeting. Alara stood at his side, her heart racing. The pack had gathered, their faces a blend of curiosity and dread. Tonight, they would discuss the bond between their alpha and the outsider. Thank you all for coming, Rowan began, his powerful voice resonating through the gathering. I know the past weeks have been difficult. Change is never easy, but it is necessary for growth. Murmurs erupted among the pack, voices rising in discord. What do you mean by growth, Alpha? The gruff voice called out. You mean to say we must accept this outsider? Rowan's gaze hardened as he faced the crowd. Alara is not just an outsider, she is my mate, and through our bond, she is now part of our future. I will fight for her place here, and I hope you will too. Fight for her place? Mara scoffed, stepping forward with a mocking smile. You mean risk everything for the whims of a fragile human? Love does not a leader make, Alpha. Alara felt rage rise within her, but she held her tongue, knowing Rowan needed to handle this delicately. You are wrong, Mara. Love is the foundation of our strength. It is what binds us as a pack. We can be stronger together, he replied, his voice steady but charged. Stronger? Mara's laughter echoed, sharp and biting. You think the pack will follow you into the unknown simply because you've found a red gem in the forest. Bonds mean nothing without loyalty. We will see how far your love takes you. Alara's heart sank, the weight of despair crushing her spirit. You are right, Mara. I am not one of you yet, she finally spoke, her voice strong despite the tremor within. But I am willing to earn my place. I want to prove my loyalty to this pack and to you, Rowan. Stop. Rowan thundered, stepping between them. Do not underestimate the bond we share. I will not let you tear us apart with your selfishness. Mara's eyes glinted like a wolf's, the threat lurking beneath her calm veneer. Very well then, let us see how much they truly believe in you, outsider. Alara felt the challenge hanging in the air, thickening the tension that coiled around them. What do you propose? She asked, her voice steady despite the nervous flutter in her stomach. Mara's smile was a predatory grin. A test of loyalty. I will set a task, something that will not only prove your worth, but also the pack's trust in you. Succeed, and perhaps I will reconsider my stance. Fail, and your place here will be in jeopardy. Rowan turned to Alara, concern etched into his features. You don't have to do this. We can find another way. No, Alara replied, her determination igniting. I need to prove myself, for you and for this pack. I'll face whatever Mara has in store. Mara's eyes glimmered with satisfaction. Very well then, tomorrow at dusk, you will enter the Forbidden Glen alone, retrieve the moonstone hidden there. Many have tried and failed. If you succeed, you will earn your place. If not... Alara's heart quickened. The Forbidden Glen was a sacred place, shrouded in mystery and danger. Tales of wolves who entered and never returned whispered through the pack like a haunting melody. Yet she felt the fire within her, and she nodded. I accept your challenge. As dusk approached the following day, Alara stood at the edge of the Forbidden Glen, trepidation washing over her. The air was thick with enchantment, the shadows swirling like restless spirits. Rowan stood behind her, his presence a fierce anchor. Are you sure you want to do this? He asked softly, concern etched in his features. I have to, Rowan. For us, she replied with determination. I need them to see I am worthy. Just remember, Alara, you are not alone. Call for me if you need me. His voice was a protective whisper, and she nodded, feeling the warmth of their bond pulsating between them. Taking a deep breath, she stepped into the glen, the darkness enveloping her like a cloak. The air crackled with magic, and as she ventured deeper, she could feel the weight of the pack's expectations pressing down upon her. Trust in yourself, she whispered to herself. You are more than what they think. As she navigated the winding paths, shadows danced along the edges, and she felt the presence of unseen eyes watching her every move. Fear threatened to creep in, but she held on to the image of Rowan, a constant reminder of love and strength. After what felt like an eternity, Alara reached a shimmering pool at the heart of the glen. The moonstone rested at the center, glowing with ethereal light. It called to her, a beacon of hope amidst the darkness that surrounded her. But as her fingers brushed against its surface, a chill swept through the air, and a haunting voice echoed from the shadows. You think you can claim the moonstone? You are not worthy. Alara's heart raced, and she straightened her spine, summoning every ounce of courage within her. I am worthy. I fight for love, for my mate, and for this pack. The voice grew louder, rumbling like thunder. Love cannot protect you from the darkness that dwells within. But Alara wouldn't he be swayed? No, love is my strength. It is the bond that will lead me through this darkness. With that declaration, she grasped the moonstone, feeling its warmth radiate through her. A surge of energy enveloped her, igniting a fierce light that pushed back the shadows. The voice faltered, and for a moment she felt the weight of the world lift. I claim this light, she cried out, her voice ringing with conviction. I am not just an outsider, I am Alara, and my love will light the way. With that, the shadows retreated, and the moonstone pulsed brilliantly in her grasp. Alara turned, racing back through the glen, the energy of the forest resonant. Alara emerged from the shadows of the Forbidden Glen, heart pounding in triumph as the moonstone pulsed warmly in her hands. The whispers of darkness receded, replaced by a fierce determination that coursed through her veins. She had faced the fears that haunted her and emerged stronger, claiming not just the stone, but a part of herself she had feared was absent. Yet, as she stepped back into the light, the clearing was bathed in crimson hues, signaling the setting sun. She spotted Rowan standing at the edge, his silhouette framed by the glowing orb of the moon rising behind him. Relief flooded her as she rushed toward him, the moonstone clutched tightly against her chest. Rowan, I did it. I retrieved the moonstone, she exclaimed, breathless with exhilaration. The light of the stone seemed to match the spark in her eyes, illuminating the joy that radiated from within. Rowan's expression shifted from worry to disbelief and then to pride. You did? Alara, that's incredible. He reached for her, pulling her close and enveloping her in a protective embrace. I knew you had it in you. I was scared, she admitted, her voice trembling. But I fought. I told the shadows that love is my strength. She glanced at the moonstone, still glowing in her grasp. I could feel it, Rowan, the bond between us. It gave me courage. His eyes softened, a mixture of admiration and affection swelling in his gaze. You are so much stronger than you realize. This proves it. Slowly he pulled away, his hands still resting on her shoulders. But we should return. Mara will want to see this. A mention of Mara brought a shout-out over Alara's heart, her excitement dimming. You think she'll accept me now? Rowan's brow furrowed, the confidence in his tone wavering. Mara may be a challenge, but you have proven your worth. Let us not forget, though, that her resentment runs deep. We will have to tread carefully. As they traversed the familiar path back to the clearing, the energy between them crackled with unsaid emotions. Alara felt every brush of Rowan's fingers against her skin, every flicker of his warmth beside her. She wanted to believe they had overcome the darkness together, but uncertainty loomed over her like a storm cloud. When they reached the gathering, the pack was circled around a roaring fire, the ambience celebratory yet tense, with glances darting in Alara's direction. Rowan stepped forward, his presence commanding the attention of the pack. "I have returned," he announced, a fierce pride lighting his eyes. "Alara has succeeded in the impossible. She retrieved the moonstone from the Forbidden Glen." A murmur of disbelief rippled through the crowd. Alara straightened her back, trying to absorb their reactions, but she could sense the undercurrent of doubt that still lingered. Mara stepped into view, her gaze sharp as a knife. "Ah, the outsider returns," clutching her prize. "But tell me, Alara, did you truly earn it, or did the shadows simply tire of your presence?" "Enough, Mara." Rowan's voice thundered in the night air, cutting through the tension. "You will not undermine her accomplishments. Alara fought bravely, and her heart is entwined with our destiny." "Destiny?" Mara sneered, taking a step closer. "You speak of destiny while running the risk of tearing apart our pack. Can you not see how foolish this is? Alara will always be an outsider, and no moonstone can change that." Alara felt her heart harden against Mara's words, the anger bubbling beneath her skin. "I may not be born of this pack, but I am willing to fight for my place here. I didn't just retrieve the moonstone. I embrace my strength and the love that binds us." The pack shifted, a mix of uncertainty and curiosity flickering in their eyes as they regarded her. Rowan stood beside her, a powerful ally against the tide of doubt. "This bond we share is a testament to our strength, not a weakness." He turned to the pack, his voice resonating with authority. "Alara is my mate. She will be treated with respect as we forge our future together." "Respect is earned, not demanded," Mara retorted, her tone icy. "I challenge you, Alara, if you are to be a part of our pack. Prove it. Let us see if you can withstand the trials of what it means to truly belong." Alara felt the weight of the pack's gaze upon her, the challenge hanging like a storm cloud overhead. "What do you mean by trials?" she asked, her voice steady despite the uncertainty threading through her. Mara's lips curled into a sinister smile. "You will face 3 trials, the trial of strength, the trial of heart, and the trial of loyalty. Succeed in all, and perhaps I will reconsider my stance, fail, and you will forever remain an outsider." Rowan's grip tightened on Alara's arm, his expression darkening. "You can be serious, Mara. This is cruel." "Cruel?" she scoffed, her eyes glinting with a mixture of malice and delight. "This is necessary. Alara must understand the weight of her choice, and the pack must see her true worth." Alara's heart raced, the stakes steepening with every word. "I accept your trials, Mara. I will prove myself." Rowan's eyes widened, panic flashing across his face. "Alara, you don't have to do this. We can." "I must, Rowan," she interrupted, her voice firm. "This is my chance to show them who I am and that my love for you is stronger than any outsider label." The pack erupted into murmurs, uncertainty and speculation swirling around them. Alara squared her shoulders, feeling the weight of their expectations pressing down. She would not back down. She would show them the strength of her love and the magic of their bond. "Very well," Mara said, her smile widening. "The first trial will take place at dawn. Prepare yourself, Alara. You will need more than just strength. You will need a heart of a wolf." Alara turned to Rowan, her heart heavy with the enormity of what lay ahead. "I won't let you down," she whispered, eyes filled with determination. He cupped her face, his eyes searching hers. "You are already more than enough, Alara. Whatever they throw at you, remember who you are." As the night deepened, Alara couldn't sleep. The weight of the trials loomed like a spectre, but beneath it all burned the fierce love she felt for Rowan. She could not let fear dictate her fate. She would fight for her place among the Orale pack, for him, for them. At dawn, the pack gathered at the training grounds, the air thick with anticipation and tension. Mara stood in the forefront, a sly smile on her lips as she prepared to judge Alara's worth. "The trial of strength is simple," she announced. "You will face 3 of our strongest warriors in a contest of skill and might. Defeat them, and you will prove your strength." Alara squared her shoulders, her heart racing as the warriors stepped forward, muscles bulging, confidence radiating from them. She could see the challenge in their eyes, the readiness to test her resolve. Rowan stood at the sidelines, his presence a grounding force amidst the storm brewing inside her. "You can do this," he whispered, his voice a steady reassurance. "Remember to trust in your instincts." The first warrior lunged, powerful and swift, but Alara was ready. She sidestepped, using the momentum of his attack against him, and with a combination of grace and strength, she disarmed him, sending him sprawling to the ground. Gasps echoed around the pack, and Alara felt a surge of confidence. She could do this. The second warrior approached, eyes narrowed in determination. They clashed, a flurry of strikes and dodges, but Alara focused on the rhythm of the fight, channeling the energy of the pack around her. With a swift kick, she sent the warrior tumbling, a mixture of surprise and respect flashing across his face as he fell. The pack erupted with howls and cheers, and Alara felt her spirit lift. Mara's expression darkened, disbelief etched into her features. You may have defeated two, but the third is your greatest challenge. As the final warrior stepped forward, Alara took a deep breath, steadying her racing heart. This one was different. His eyes gleamed with ferocity, a predator ready to pounce. Their bodies collided, and the ground trembled with the force of their movements. Alara felt her stamina waning, but she fought to keep her footing. She could hear Rowan's voice in her mind, urging her to trust herself. With a final surge of determination, she summoned all her strength and executed a powerful maneuver, pinning the warrior to the ground. Breathless, she stood tall, the cheers of the pack ringing in her ears. "I am worthy of this pack," she shouted, her heart swelling with pride. Mara's face was a mask of fury, but Alara refused to let it deter her. "You have won this trial, but the next will test your heart." As the sun began to set, painting the sky in hues,